Hey guys, Jim Horn back again here with Redo Banshee Parts and Accessories, and we're going to look at another little video here on how to install a new clutch. All right guys, so let's take a look here. We've already done some of the pre-work. We've already taken the clutch cover off. We've already cleaned everything all out. We've got the gasket surface clean here. Now I actually have a brand new clutch in here, just sitting in here, but I'm gonna show you. I'm just gonna pull it out, okay? So we've already got everything cleaned up in here and ready to go. Now, first step that you always want to do when you get a brand new clutch, you're going to have the clutch fibers here are going to come in one package, and your clutch steels are going to come in another package. All right, you're going to take all the clutch fibers. This is step number one. Take all the fibers here. You're going to get a little container like this, and you're going to fill it up with oil. All right, and you're just going to drop all your fibers in here. All right, all the fibers. You don't have to do the steels, they don't need it, but the fibers need to soak in oil. I like to do it overnight at least, okay? 24 hours or so, let these babies soak in oil, and so they're nice and moist when you go to put them together. Now, we've already done that. These babies have been soaking for a while, so what we're gonna do is we're just gonna start to install the clutch plates. This is very straightforward. You're just gonna slide them in, right? And then you're gonna take your steels and slide them in. Now, some steels, these ones don't have any little nipples on them, but some of these will have a little nipple on them on one part of the steel. Now when those get put in, let's say the nipple is here, I like to clock those, let's say at 12 o'clock, and then you put your next fiber in. And again, if you have a steel that has a nipple, I like to clock that completely opposite, down here at 6 o'clock, okay? Then another fiber, right? And then if it has a nipple, which these ones don't, then you clock that one at 3 o'clock over here, here. So that way they're spaced out evenly because there's a little bit of extra weight on there. I don't know that that makes a huge difference, but that's the way I do it. So then you put another fiber, and then your next one's gonna be, if it has a nipple, clocked over here at 9 o'clock, right? And then another fiber. And then the next one here, I just split it. I go down here like around 5 o'clock or so, if it's got the nipple on it, okay? Another fiber. And then this guy here, if it's got the nipple on it, up here, you know, maybe around 10 o'clock or so, all right? And then that's that, okay? Now your clutch pack is in, okay? Now, you're gonna take your pressure plate here, all right? Just make sure it's clean. This one's good to go. We're gonna put it on here. Now, there's a trick. You see these little arrows, right? There's an arrow, there's 3 of them, all right? We're gonna line these arrows up. We're gonna line these arrows up, or try to line them up anyways, as close as we can. Rotate the motor over here. To one of these deep dimples, all right? So this one here. And the reason is because when you put this, if you come up here with the camera, if you see, this has to fit, you can put this on, this has to fit tight against the clutch fibers here. Now let me show you what will happen sometimes. Make sure you don't do this because your clutch won't work right. If you clock this way, sometimes, you see that? See how you put that on? And it goes on all the way, but it doesn't come close to the fibers, right? You've got to make sure that this pressure plate is clocked correctly so that it will sit flush against the fibers, okay? Once you've got that on correctly, make sure there's no gap there, okay? Then you're just gonna take your springs, all right? Just pop your springs in just like this, real straightforward. Okay, and you're gonna take your screws, like so. I'm just gonna do a couple of these guys to show you, and then you can finish them off because this is pretty basic stuff. Now I use a little impact gun, but pay attention. These only need to be just like barely tight, just so. They don't need any torque on them at all because the spring pressure will hold pressure against these, okay? So we're just gonna lock these babies down like this, right there, and then we're just gonna go a little bit more, okay? Just like that. That's all they need. They don't need, if you're doing it with a ratchet, just get them to to seat, and then maybe just a little bump, like nothing. Or you'll break these inner fingers off of your inner hub, and then you got to call me up and buy a new hub from me. Okay, so don't do that. These need no torque at all, just tight, okay? And then go around, and I like to do them in a cross pattern. So boom, 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 like that, like a star, okay? And once you get that on, then your clutch is ready to go, and your next step is going to be adjusting your clutch arm, okay? And that's going to be the next video. So stay tuned for the next video on how to adjust your clutch correctly.